Hello everyone, my name is Sabby, and I am traveling with my child, Sarah Effexor. Join us as we travel on a cross-country journey through Canada and the US. We will be visiting 19 cities across 6 provinces in Canada for the first half of the trip. We will then enter the US on the East Coast to finish the last half of our journey. We will drive through 35 cities and 34 states on our way back to return to Vancouver. This will also include seeing 14 national parks in Canada and the US. In total, we will be traveling more than 12,000 miles. It will be a long and tough journey with lots of repairs, being towed a couple of times, shoveling lots of snow, but it will also be extremely rewarding and create lifelong memories I will cherish forever. Please join us as my child and I explore the winter wonderland of Whistler, British Columbia. Well, hello everyone. I just wanted to kind of explain to you guys about what happened with Whistler, because it's a very interesting and fascinating story of the start of my RV journey. Day one, I picked up the RV and it was quite far from Vancouver. I didn't expect it to be so far away. It took me about an hour to go east out of Vancouver to go and pick up the RV. And by then it was like about 1 o'clock. So I pick up the RV around 1. We have to go through all the details, paperwork, signing, background of how to take care of the RV, and then I also have to pack the RV. There's a lot that I had to get done during that time frame. I finally got back to Vancouver around 5 o'clock at night, and we picked up some lunch. It was technically a lunch because I didn't eat that entire day until that exact moment at 5 p.m. After we got our meal, we headed over to Whistler, which was going to take about almost 2 hours to get there, and it was already starting to get dark. I didn't leave Vancouver until about 7 o'clock at night after getting gas, and I needed groceries as well. I wasn't going to get to Whistler until 9 at night, and I kind of had no idea where I was going to camp. I had 3 possible options. 2 of them were free and kind of like just parking on the street or like on a trailhead area, but it was on the camping RV website that I went on. And then there was another one that was paid RV parking. So I had 3 options, and I really didn't want to do the paid one. So it was only going to be like $35, but I just needed to park my vehicle. I didn't need electricity, water, nothing like that. I just needed to park it because I have everything that I need in my RV. I drive over there, and the first option is at this trailhead. It's now 9 o'clock at night. It's very dark. And there's, I think, this path to go to this trailhead, which I found out later was not the right way to go to this trailhead. And it looks like it's actually a really good option because at the very beginning it's all towed. And you can see a lot of RVs are parked in that square. And I'm like, awesome. There's people parking here. That must mean it's good. But there was no space for me in that kind of paved square. And so I kept driving around that road, and it then becomes moderately paved, where in the center is not paved, but where your wheels go, it is paved. So somebody clearly has been driving through this path and created like these car tracks to get in, but it's not actually plowed. And so I'm heading on this road because I'm like, okay, people are still parking on this path. Clearly, this is a good place to park. I just need to find a big enough spot on this road to park. So I'm trying to find a nice spot for me to kind of go. And I keep driving down this road, and I'm like going half a mile in. And I realize that there's no way to turn around, and this road just keeps getting smaller and smaller. And I'm like, shit, I can't, it's very, the road's very narrow now. Like, it looks like there's a of very little places for me to go ahead and turn around. And really the only path that I can take is where cars have already been driving on this road. And there's going to be a place for me to turn around. And I'm getting really nervous and I can't really go anywhere but straight at this point. And so I keep going and I'm like crossing my fingers that there's going to be a spot to turn around. And at the end of the road, there is. It looks moderately dug out and there's like a bus and another car out there that kind of created its own space. And I'm like, awesome. Hopefully this is enough space to turn my big ass RV around. And so I try to turn around and I'm starting to realize that even though this spot is a lot bigger than the path is, it's not big enough for me to turn around. And so I'm like, crap, I can't move any further than this. I can't turn around. It's way too narrow down this spot. And the only way I can go back is backwards. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try to go back the way I came. I got pretty far down the way backwards, but then I hit the snow patch and it kind of just sucked me in onto the side of the road. And now my wheels won't turn, and I'm starting to realize, because I just got the RV today, that my tires, even though they have snow tires on them, I thought it was gonna be 4-wheel drive. It is not. It is only 2-wheel drive in the front. I realize this when I'm trying to get out of the snow and only my front tires are trying to move. So I'm just like, damn, this sucks. So I bought a shovel before I came on this trip because I'm like, okay, what do I need if I get stuck in the snow? I'm gonna need a shovel, I'm gonna need an emergency kit, I'm gonna need kitty litter, salt, and I have kitty litter because I have a cat. So I get out of the car and I'm just trying to dig my car out. I'm just digging. And I'm digging for quite a while. And then I start putting some kitty litter around the tires that I got out of the snow. And I'm just trying to get it back on the path again. I move forward and backwards. And it seems like I'm able to move a little bit, but it's not enough to get me that out, because when I start going forward, all of a sudden one of my tires starts to spin, and then I try to go backwards and then another tire starts to spin, and so I'm kind of just like wedged in here. I try to use like salt, I try to use more kitty litter, and I'm doing this for about 2 hours and I can't get out by myself. And I start to feel really bad because a car went past me on this road. He's 4-wheel drive. Luckily, that car, it's a small car, but it is 4-wheel drive, and they're able to get past me, and they're living over there where the bus is. So I'm like, okay, I want to get out of the way here because I feel bad that I'm in this path and I don't want to be stuck in this path. And so after working for like 2 hours, I'm like, you know what? I should probably just call it a night. And I had my mom and one of my brothers on the phone trying to like walk me through it. And I did everything that they said, but it really wasn't working. Let's call it a night. I haven't eaten dinner. And I've been digging in the snow for like 2 hours. And my child's screaming at me because she doesn't like the fact that I'm outside of the RV. So let me just get my RV set up. Let me get some more food in me and make some hot chocolate because I was out in the snow all night. So let me just make some hot cocoa. So I kind of just settle down, go to bed after that because clearly I needed to go to sleep and start fresh the next day. So I go to bed and I wake up pretty early. It's probably around 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up and I start to realize that I am kind of tilted a bit in this kind of on this road. I'm a slightly slanted to the left, and I already checked yesterday. None of the pipes that I have coming out of the RV were covered with snow, so I knew we were going to be okay throughout the night. But I did notice in the morning that we are kind of tilted to the side, and so I start getting out and I start digging again, and this very nice gentleman and his cute little dog are hiking down this path, and they see me on there, and they come out of their way to help me, and they help me for like an hour, and we're able to actually move it back some more. Like, we're able to move it back quite, like maybe another like 14 feet back down the way that I came, but now I'm even more in the way, but then I get stuck again. And this guy was like super nice. Like, he was helping me for like an hour, helping me dig, getting brushed. The dog was so cute. I was giving him lots of pets. But my car, even though we got it further down the way, my car just kept getting stuck. And I think it, like, me and him were both like kind of on the same page. I really just need to get a tow truck and help me get out, because I'm kind of just stuck here. He was thinking like maybe he could tow my car, but he had a small car too, and he was having difficulty on this road as well. So he was like, you know what, it's probably best if you call a tow. And I thanked him so much, and he went on his way with his dog, but like, they were super nice, and I'm so thankful that they were there. My car just wouldn't get out of the snow. So I called a tow truck, and he says he's gonna come in like an hour and stuff. So I'm just like hanging out and waiting, and the guy that lived out there drives past me, like he leaves, almost gets stuck again, but he ends up, again, he's doing 4-wheel drive, he leaves and he goes. And so I'm just chilling, just hanging out, and the guy that lives out there comes back and again tries to go on the side of me, but I'm like way more in the way of the road than I was before. So he's going really outside of the path to try to get past me, and he got stuck behind me. So on the third time of him trying to get around to me, he got stuck on the last try, and I felt so horrible. I'm like, no, he got stuck. I felt so bad, and you could tell he was pissed off. He's smoking a cigarette, he's trying to cool off, and I'm like trying to offer to help dig him out or push him, and his car's smaller. I could totally help push him out and help dig his car out of there. Like, I have more hope that he can get out than I can get out. But he's like, no, he's just gonna deal with it himself, and so he's like getting salt out, and I let him know, hey, I have a tow truck coming, but he was kind of just doing his own thing, and I just felt so bad. My tow truck comes. At first I thought it was his friend that came to help him, but no, it was my tow truck that came. He ended up helping the guy out, and then the guy went off on his way, and then my tow truck came, and he's like, hey, like, I just got that one guy out, and you also needed help getting out, right? His car's so cool. It's a Jeep, like it's a 4-wheel drive Jeep with these like monster truck tires on it. It's like a beautiful, and it looks like a Minecraft Jeep because it's like all green with all the squares. But he tells me later that originally he designed it to be for Tetris, but the kids see it as Minecraft and he just goes along with it. So he's like driving around and he gets stuck. Luckily he's able to get out, maneuver himself in front of me, and then he starts pulling me out forwards to go back up the path so that I could turn around at that one area. That's all I needed, is to get right back in the right direction of where I'm at, and I can just follow the path back down. He was so nice, he was super kind. So that was day one of Whistler getting towed out. While I did not enjoy my time in Whistler like I had planned, I still enjoyed the small amount of time I had to explore. I spent my time exploring Whistler Village and the Olympic Plaza. I had to go shopping for some items I was missing, which included a pillow and rock salt in case I got stuck again. The area had a lot of available parking and even had an oversized parking area for my RV, but you did need to pay for it, unfortunately. We got dinner at the nearby McDonald's since I was so exhausted from the day's events to make food, and this was actually my first real meal of the day. When we were walking around the area, it seemed like there was a lot of after-skiing parties happening in the nearby bars and restaurants. It looked like a really nice place to get a drink and have fun. It is one way to keep warm in the cold air. I went to the train wreck parking lot to camp for the night. It was recommended to me by my tow truck driver for overnight parking, and it was actually really nice. I wasn't the only one there, and it was nice and plowed, so there wasn't any danger of getting stuck again. We went to bed early, around 10 p.m., because the next morning we would be heading to Kamloops. However, what I didn't realize was that I had run out of propane, so I woke up at around 3 in the morning to the freezing cold. My child and I were huddled together under the blankets trying to stay warm until I finally got up to turn the car on to get warm. By then it was around 6 a.m., so I just decided to head out early since we were freezing anyway, and I wasn't getting any decent sleep. It was a very short-lived stay in Whistler, but it's such a beautiful place. It really is. I wish that I could have stayed there a lot longer, but yeah, I just didn't build in enough time in the schedule for me to do that, and I knew it was going to take me a long time to get to Kamloops. The drive to Kamloops was just breathtaking. It was one of the prettiest drives that I've ever been on. It's definitely one of those roads where during the snow time it's very avalanche prone. You really do have to keep an eye out on the road and the webcams and see what the conditions are, but luckily on the day that I was leaving Whistler, the conditions were good. It was fully plowed, and they do plow it like regularly as long as there wasn't any like major winter storm. I was able to ride down on that road super easily, and it was just extremely breathtaking. I would love to go to Whistler again under better conditions for sure. But even though I got stuck, and it was definitely the first day of my RV trip, I think most people went on a journey, something that horrible happened first day, they would probably want to just like give up. But here I am, still going. There's a lot of up and downs, but I've really enjoyed my journey so far in my RV, and I hope to keep showing you guys some more amazing experiences and views from my journey. And I hope to tell you also the shitty stories, because even though it's shitty in the moment, it is hilarious afterwards. It is definitely one of those stories that you could tell for years and years. But I've had such an amazing experience so far. This is the first time I had to get towed when I was in Whistler. I want to thank you all for watching this video. My child and I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please show your support by liking or commenting on this video. If you want to continue to join us on our RV winter adventure, please subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, as I will be uploading every Wednesday and Friday.